Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We enjoy having many guests on our program here on CBS KHOU 11 and Quest. And today we've got a special guest from the Houston Chronicle. As you know, there's so many changes now with media. We thought we'd get the perspective of none other than Kelly Ann Scott. She's the editor-in-chief and SVP, award-winning Pulitzer Prize winner, has had a tremendous career trajectory, and she's here in Houston now. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. So first of all, I want to recognize the Houston Chronicle for the partnership and re-engaging with you all, Nancy and the whole team. Such an important component to our city. And certainly, as someone who's been a Houstonian for their entire life, there's a lot of changes in print media, in media, digital media. We can't even keep up with it. So from your perspective, what is in the future of the Houston Chronicle? What do you see in the next year for the Houston Chronicle?
Sure. I mean, it's an exciting year for us. I think in 2025, it'll be our most ambitious year yet. I've been here for a year so far, and really, we're spending a lot of time trying to understand our community, learn all about the metro area, build a strong team that can do what we need to do in the digital space today, and keep us moving forward. We're spending a lot of time on the journalism. We've done some things like we've doubled our investigative team. We're doing more video than ever before. We're building bridges in places that we haven't been, and we're spending more time listening to how we can really be essential to people's lives. So much of our past is really about print, and we're grateful for so many people who still read the print edition today, but we have more readers than ever before in the digital space. And so that's the place where we're really trying to understand how can we be essential to people's lives.
So on that note,
Yeah.
especially the digital space, there's so much competition. And I think it's really difficult for a lot of people to know the real journalists versus
Yeah.
the people with an opinion. How would you describe that and the challenge that it is for someone like the Houston Chronicle today?
It's a huge challenge. I mean, misinformation is everywhere, and everybody has an opinion all the time, right? Branded accounts, we spend a lot of time cultivating our branded accounts. We've started something new this year called Houston Explained. And so when you have questions about things or questions about things in our city or things you read, we're answering those questions for readers one-on-one. That's an initiative to help us all understand Houston better and sort through what's real and what's not about our city. But it's an ongoing challenge, and media literacy continues to be a challenge across our city and across the country.
So let's talk about the ever evolving now with this digital opportunity, the updates on so many things. It's not just you hit a deadline and it's going to be printed in tomorrow's paper. It's a nonstop constant.
Yep, it is. We really run as a 24/7 operation here. We strive to be first and best with breaking news and across all the things that people care about the most. We try to dive into the issues that people also, that make the biggest difference in people's lives here. It is like I said, a 24/7 operation across multiple platforms. It includes social media, video, our website, newsletters, push alerts to power your watches, and then print as well. So all of those things come into play.
Very fascinating. And so to wrap up for your readership, tell us what are some of the ways, other than the one you already described, right, that they can better connect, especially our businesses? Like what's in it for businesses today? Because they have so many choices.
Sure, I'll tell you, the number one way to connect with us are through our newsletters. We have a whole portfolio of newsletters. You'll be delivered to your email box every single day. It's direct news, one-to-one relationship, and you can figure out all the things you need to know every single day. The 713 is 3 times a day, and that newsletter tells you everything you need to know here in Houston. The other thing I'd highly recommend is something new we've started called HC Live. It is an events series that we do that has been very well received. And it's a way for us to have conversations with newsmakers, kind of like this right here, and business leaders and thought leaders and the people who are making Houston what it is today. Those conversations you can drop in. And when you drop in, you can ask questions and get answers to the things you've always wondered about. It's specific for subscribers. That's one thing I would also say when it comes to connecting is, and this kind of goes back to your other question too, is support local media today too. And this conversation about misinformation and ways to support a healthy ecosystem for the news media, support them, subscribe, share things from local media. Really double down on the journalisms to help us all sort through the opinion and what's real and what's not out there.
Well, we appreciate it, and I look forward to participating in
Yes.
HB Live with other thought leaders later on today. So tune in, folks, if you're watching, and we'll make sure to have it on our YouTube station as well. So thank you so much to you and the entire Houston Chronicle team.
Gosh, what a great organization. What great leadership from Dr. Murillo. You always want to go where the future is, and this is where the future is. And when you look at this people, the quality of the production, everything about this organization and the leadership, this is what you want to be a part of.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interests of the Hispanic business community. Our 3 legislative priorities include DACA, NAFTA, and census. Collectively, the economic impact of these 3 legislative priorities is $24.8 billion in the greater Houston region. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce announced a wide-ranging partnership with the City of Houston ahead of the pivotal 2020 U.S. Census to increase engagement and broaden awareness. We have utilized our media platform, which includes CBS, Intercom, Univision, KHOU 11, and the Q to disseminate facts and figures. Additionally, the national media has taken notice of our chamber and has featured us on Bloomberg, CNN, The Washington Post, NPR, Money Week, to name a few, in an effort to educate and emphasize our role as the leader of Houston's new majority. We prepared op-eds, wrote white papers, held press conferences, presented on local and national panels.
NAFTA, as you know, your chamber once again has taken the lead. The numbers don't lie.
This is about jobs, economic impact. We know that a trade between the U.S. and Mexico is over $180 billion as it relates to Texas.
We celebrate the fact that the United States Supreme Court has thrown out that census question that was, are you a U.S. citizen?
It was also a banner year for the Chamber's annual initiatives, groundbreaking and data-focused Hispanic Impact Summits, the Women's Leadership Conference and Business Expo, Health, Innovation, and Technology Summit, our annual luncheon and Business Expo, the largest in Houston, as well as our elected officials reception, annual awards gala. We graduated emerging leaders. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce remains mission-focused.
And as go Hispanics, so goes Houston.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interests of the Hispanic business community, the leader of Houston's new majority.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Our next guest is Lindy Nash. She's with Chisholm and Kilpatrick. She's the managing attorney of Bequest Management. Well, we so appreciate your sponsorship and the engagement we've had with you all over the last year. You all do very important work, and I'm excited for our nonprofits to learn a little bit about the work that you all do specifically within the Bequest Management. So let's start there. What is Bequest Management?
Yes, great question. So just to take another step back, a bequest is a gift that someone leaves to a designated person or organization like a nonprofit, and it's written in that person's will or trust. So a will only takes effect when the person passes away, and a trust can actually have effects while the person is living, but they still include bequests in there. So when they pass away, they leave a certain instruction to their trustee saying, I would like to give X amount of money to so-and-so, or, you know, my favorite cat, or my favorite piece of art, anything like that. So bequests can come in all shapes and sizes. So essentially what we do is we partner with nonprofits because nonprofits receive all sorts of bequests. I've seen everything from wooden figurines to pieces of art to cars to horses to pieces of real estate to just gifts of cash and money. And so essentially, the nonprofit will receive this gift in a will or a trust, but it doesn't actually make it to the organization all the time. Things come up. Trustees don't always know what they're doing. Maybe a family member comes out of the woodwork and contests the will or the trust. Sometimes people take advantage of nonprofits, which is really unfortunate. So that's what we do. That's where we step in. We help the nonprofit actually get the matured bequest and actually get that distribution in the front door.
Okay, so let's go back to the nonprofit. So someone is watching us now and they hadn't even known that this was an option, and they may have a board member or someone in the community that might consider this. What advice do you have for the nonprofit?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So it's tough because usually nonprofits are doing this work themselves. It's usually the folks in the plan giving team. The plan giving officer usually wears a bunch of hats, and bequest management is typically on their plate. And frankly, they just don't have enough time to do it. They don't have time to chase down the trustee who's hiding in the Grand Canyon or deal with that nephew who's giving you a hard time, and they just can't do it all. So the nonprofit is looking for someone else to help and a source to outsource this work. And so that's where we step in. And usually board members are incredibly kind and offer to help. Sometimes you may have an attorney on your board who says, oh, I can do that. But it's tough because those board members have a lot of other things to do as well. This is all that we do all day long. We specialize in it. We're experts. We've seen everything, or I'll say almost everything. We do get surprised from time to time. And there's, we just handle all sorts of circumstances. So that's where we step in. And so if anyone would like to chat more about it, I would recommend, reaching out to us. And I'm always happy to serve as a resource too and answer any questions.
So the role of the firm is really, once the bequest is made, not coaching the nonprofit on the front end, right?
Yep, that's a great question. So we don't step in until the bequest has, we say matured, aka the person has passed away. So we don't work with the donor. We don't work with the living. Yep, we leave that to the nonprofit.
Good. And again, it's Chisholm and Kilpatrick, and they can help nonprofits as they are accepting bequests through a program called Bequest Management. And they've been very involved in our chamber. And your website is cckbequest.com. You can go there, ask more questions. For you as the attorney that has to deal with this, what do you enjoy about your job? It's a very unique role to fill.
Yeah, it is. It's really unique. Not everybody does it. But I consider myself incredibly lucky partnering with and representing nonprofits. It doesn't get much better than that, right? We help organizations with incredible missions all across the country, and I help donors finalize their last wishes. I make sure that the donors' last wishes actually come to fruition. And in the process, I'm helping in just the tiniest way make the world a better place by allowing these nonprofits to fulfill their missions. And whether that's a global mission or something local to a certain community, it means the world to me. So really, I couldn't ask for anything more. And it's just an honor and a privilege to help nonprofits.
Well, we appreciate your engagement with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Have a great day.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Gosh, what a great organization. What great leadership from Dr. Murillo. You always want to go where the future is, and this is where the future is. And when you look at this people, the quality of the production, everything about this organization and the leadership, this is what you want to be a part of.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interests of the Hispanic business community. Our 3 legislative priorities include DACA, NAFTA, and census. Collectively, the economic impact of these 3 legislative priorities is $24.8 billion in the greater Houston region. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce announced a wide-ranging partnership with the City of Houston ahead of the pivotal 2020 U.S. Census to increase engagement and broaden awareness. We have utilized our media platform, which includes CBS, Intercom, Univision, KHOU 11, and the Q to disseminate facts and figures. Additionally, the national media has taken notice of our chamber and has featured us on Bloomberg, CNN, The Washington Post, NPR, Money Week, to name a few, in an effort to educate and emphasize our role as the leader of Houston's new majority. We prepared op-eds, wrote white papers, held press conferences, presented on local and national panels.
NAFTA, as you know, your chamber once again has taken the lead. The numbers don't lie.
This is about jobs, economic impact. We know that a trade between the U.S. and Mexico is over $180 billion as it relates to Texas.
We celebrate the fact that the United States Supreme Court has thrown out that census question that was, are you a U.S. citizen?
It was also a banner year for the Chamber's annual initiatives, groundbreaking and data-focused Hispanic Impact Summits, the Women's Leadership Conference and Business Expo, Health, Innovation, and Technology Summit, our annual Luncheon and Business Expo, the largest in Houston, as well as our elected officials reception, annual awards gala. We graduated emerging leaders. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce remains mission-focused.
And as go Hispanics, so goes Houston.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interest of the Hispanic business community, the leader of Houston's new majority.
Thank you for joining us here on CBS KHOU 11 and Quest. I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Our guest is Edwin Vargas. He's Walmart store manager. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Laura, for having me here today. I really appreciate it.
Yes. So thank you for your partnership with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And also thank you for all that you do out in the community. But I want to start with you. Where are you from and how did you get connected to Walmart?
I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I'm a former teacher. I moved to the United States 9 years ago, looking for better opportunities for myself and my family. And I was actually hired. My first job here in the United States was as a part-time cashier at a Walmart.
And now you are a store manager. What location?
I'm right now at Walmart 3302. That's in West Sam Houston Parkway South.
So a busy time for Walmart, right? We're in December. This is a busy time. So if people are interested in opportunities for work, are you guys hiring?
We always hiring. We definitely a very busy store who was recently remodeled, and we always hiring. We always have opportunity here in our store.
And obviously, in your case, opportunities to grow and move up the corporate ladder. How long did it take you to become a store manager, and what was that like?
It took me 5 years to become a store manager. Like I said, I started as a part-time cashier, moved the ladder as an hourly supervisor, then assistant manager, then co-manager, then store lead, and now a store manager. So it's been a short and long journey, very fun. I think I'm blessed to work in a company that give everybody opportunity to become store manager.
Very nice. So a busy time. Christmas always brings out opportunities to serve the community. We know here at the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce that Walmart does a lot in the community. But tell us some of the things that are especially important to you.
Well, most importantly for me is to provide the customer a great customer service, and we just always been involved in a community on different ways that we can support. Most recently, as of last week, Walmart served the Houston Police Department holiday meal to thank them for their partnership and help in keeping our customers and associates safe every day. Our local teams have worked hand in hand with the Houston Police Department through hurricanes, tornado, floodings, and ice storms to help Houston back up, get Houston back up and running after any disaster has struck. This is just one example of how we are giving back to the Houston community. a few examples of community engagement this year. We actually sponsor and participated in various community events around the Day of the Dead, Thanksgiving Day, in Houston Methodist turkey trot, which brought together over 6,000 people on Thanksgiving Day morning. Associates this year has delivered gift baskets of product made in Texas to fire stations here in the Houston area. We also sponsor the Veterans Business Marketplace at Wings Over Houston and supported a local organization to provide air show tickets and transportation to underserved families, ensuring access to this unique experience for those who otherwise could not afford it. We also sponsor a nonprofit organization, Kids Meals, and through our support, we delivered 3,000 turkeys meals to families across Houston. So we have been very, very busy during this holiday.
So many things that you all are involved with, and I'm sure a lot more that you haven't even listed. So we appreciate you, your store, and all Walmarts here in the greater Houston region. Thank you, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for Hispanic business in our region. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending. Our thanks to our volunteers, sponsors, board of directors, and staff as we work to advocate for business and for a stronger economy. Learn more by visiting the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website, HoustonHispanicChamber.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I am thrilled to have one of our corporate partners, Crow, joining us here today. We have been involved with each other for many, many years, 15 years plus. They've been a great partner, and we are so happy to have Sheila Enriquez join us. She has a new title. She's going to tell you all about it and what she does at Crow. Thank you, Sheila.
Hi, Dr. Murillo. Thank you so much for having me today. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you very much. And so first, let's start with, what does Crow do? Who is Crow? A lot of people may be familiar with the previous name of Briggs & Maselka. Tell us about Crow a little bit more, please.
Yes, I'm very delighted to introduce you to Crow. So we are a public accounting, consulting, and technology firm, and we distinguish ourselves not only by our size and capabilities, but also by our purpose and values. We were founded in 1942, and Crow has grown to become one of the largest accounting firms in the U.S., serving clients worldwide with our deep industry expertise and innovative approach. Our network actually spans more than 130 countries through our Crow Global Network. And so we are truly a global firm, but we maintain a strong commitment to our local communities as well. Our purpose is clear. So we are here to shape your better tomorrow together today. And that is realized through a wide range of our services, which include audit, tax, advisory, risk, and performance services. So whether we're helping a business navigate complex regulatory environments, optimize their operations, or strategize for growth, we are there with you every step of the way, creating value that endures.
You got a presence and a footprint in Houston, but also throughout Texas.
Absolutely. And you know, what people don't know in Texas is that Crow has actually already been in Texas for the past 15 years in Dallas. But as you noted earlier, the Briggs & Maselka team joined Crow in 2022, and 3 years in the making here, that really expanded Crow's footprint to now include the Houston area, which is our largest office. We also have an office in the Woodlands and, of course, Austin, Texas. So we are in every major city and very excited about Texas and our commitment to this great state.
Well, and then the big word on the street is artificial intelligence, isn't it?
That is exactly right. Everybody's thinking about it, wondering how to adopt it. And I think for companies, it's top of mind for sure.
So what does that mean for Crow and its clients?
So it's been interesting to me to watch the evolution of AI. And when we talk about AI has been in place for decades, right? But the one area that you're hearing a lot these days, probably in the past year, is generative AI. And what that is the large language models like ChatGPT. And for some reason, all of a sudden, right, it's become the term, it's become much more evident in the things that we do in our everyday lives. And so for Crow, AI is really a topic of immense interest, with organizations eager to expand their understanding, harness its potential. So we recognize this demand. So we actually are really focused in and utilize our own AI platform we currently have in our firm, CrowMind. It is being actively used across all our business functions to accelerate multiple tasks, freeing up more time for innovative thinking, complex problem solving. And so it is a game changer, and it is starting to revolutionize industries across the globe. We actually started our own AI studio for that reason. We're expanding it, and it is designed to foster the development of AI-powered solutions for our clients, while also advancing internal adoption of AI in our business operations. When it comes to our client offerings, we are enabling our clients to really provide more value-added services. And one of the big things, Dr. Murillo, that I don't think companies are even really as aware of is that you really have to be careful when implementing AI. You know, we provide guidance on AI strategy, implementation, governance. There's some ethical considerations that people should be thinking about when implementing AI. So as we help clients harness the power of AI, we also help them manage the associated risks. One thing at Crow that we're very mindful of in addition to AI, though, is making sure that it's remaining human-centered, because you hear a lot of people talk about AI and replacing jobs. And at Crow, we recognize that we cannot lose sight that we have to be human-centered in everything that we do. We will be AI-enabled for sure, AI-powered, but we are all about people at the end of the day. And so, you know, we combine AI with human-centered design, and doing that allows us to create solutions that are not only smart, but user-friendly, intuitive, and definitely aligned with the expectations of our clients. So very, very exciting area, you know, that is just continuing to evolve very quickly.
Very well. Sheila, our thanks to you and the entire Crow team. I know we had someone from your staff join us at our Business Institute, and throughout the year, you all have been very engaged with us, and we really appreciate the 15-year plus relationship we've had with Crow. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
We'll see you soon.
Gosh, what a great organization. What great leadership from Dr. Murillo. You always want to go where the future is, and this is where the future is. And when you look at this people, the quality of the production, everything about this organization and the leadership, this is what you want to be a part of.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interests of the Hispanic business community. Our three legislative priorities include DACA, NAFTA, and census. Collectively, the economic impact of these three legislative priorities is $24.8 billion in the greater Houston region. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce announced a wide-ranging partnership with the City of Houston ahead of the pivotal 2020 U.S. Census to increase engagement and broaden awareness. We've utilized our media platform, which includes CBS, Intercom, Univision, KHOU 11, and the Q to disseminate facts and figures. Additionally, the national media has taken notice of our chamber and has featured us on Bloomberg, CNN, The Washington Post, NPR, Money Week, to name a few, in an effort to educate and emphasize our role as the leader of Houston's new majority. We prepared op-eds, wrote white papers, held press conferences, presented on local and national panels.
NAFTA, as you know, your chamber once again has taken the lead. The numbers don't lie.
This is about jobs, economic impact. We know that a trade between the U.S. and Mexico is over $180 billion as it relates to Texas.
We celebrate the fact that the United States Supreme Court has thrown out that census question that was, are you a U.S. citizen?
It was also a banner year for the Chamber's annual initiatives, groundbreaking and data-focused Hispanic Impact Summits, the Women's Leadership Conference and Business Expo, Health, Innovation, and Technology Summit, our annual luncheon and Business Expo, the largest in Houston, as well as our elected officials reception, annual awards gala. We graduated emerging leaders. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce remains mission-focused.
And as go Hispanics, so goes Houston.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interest of the Hispanic business community, the leader of Houston's new majority.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. As you know, we partner with many great organizations and entities here, and that's what makes Houston special, is that every day there are great Houstonians doing phenomenal work to make sure Houston is multicultural and that we have a variety of things for families and folks in our area to do. So one of them is coming up next year, and we're excited. The International Women's Fest, and joining us today is the founder, Adriana Clausen. Thank you, Adriana.
Thank you, Laura, for having me. So excited to be here.
Absolutely. So let's just get going. What is this fest? Tell us about it.
Well, one day I was just, thinking about this woman power momentum that has been going on for this past year. And I was like, and I searched online to see if there was a festival or some kind of big celebration that involved the city and so forth. And I could not find it. And I thought, you know what? I have to do it. I have to do it. And so that's how it was birthed.
So what is this going to look like? When you say the International Women's Festival, where, what? Tell us more.
So Houston is the most culturally diverse city in the United States of America. And it is time that we bring all the nationalities together and celebrate one another. Houston has a vibrant population of women, and this is the perfect time. Why not do it this coming International Women's Day and learn about our cultures? Let's lift each other up. Let's applaud you, your backgrounds and everything that you are doing for the city, because sometimes we're kind of segregated, you know what I mean? And so why not bring us all together and truly enjoy all the different cultures and everything that all these wonderful and beautiful women are doing throughout the city that we frankly just don't know about. So
it's my understanding you want to go to Discovery Green. You'll have
yes,
panels with people. You're going to have some vendors out there. Is that correct?
absolutely. So think about this, right? We have women in music. We're going to celebrate women in music, women in leadership roles, women in education, women with sauce. We have a great culinary experience happening here. And all these wonderful women are behind all of these events. And so we're going to have panels. We're going to talk about menopause. We're going to talk about subjects that are so important and dear to us, along with, vendors and along with a wellness area and just a celebration of women.
So who is your audience?
Every female. I mean, think about it. We want to encourage, we want to see little girls. We want them to understand the greatness that it is to be a woman. So, moms, grandmothers, sisters, mothers, wives, girlfriends, any age group, we're going to have something for each individual.
So where can people get more information about volunteering or becoming involved with this festival?
So you can go on the website, www.internationalwomensfest.com, and you can sign up. You can sign up to become an ambassador. You can sign up to become a sponsor or a vendor. If you have a unique business idea or you're currently selling and your audience is women, this is the perfect avenue to showcase your product.
Very well. Well, Adriana, thank you for your leadership and to the entire team that I know you're going to assemble to make sure this is a great success. Wishing you all the best, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Gosh, what a great organization, what great leadership from Dr. Murillo. You always want to go where the future is, and this is where the future is. And when you look at this people, the quality of the production, everything about this organization and the leadership, this is what you want to be a part of.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interests of the Hispanic business community. Our 3 legislative priorities include DACA, NAFTA, and census. Collectively, the economic impact of these 3 legislative priorities is $24.8 billion in the greater Houston region. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce announced a wide-ranging partnership with the City of Houston ahead of the pivotal 2020 U.S. Census to increase engagement and broaden awareness. We've utilized our media platform, which includes CBS, Intercom, Univision, KHOU 11, and the Q to disseminate facts and figures. Additionally, the national media has taken notice of our chamber and has featured us on Bloomberg, CNN, The Washington Post, NPR, Money Week, to name a few, in an effort to educate and emphasize our role as the leader of Houston's new majority. We prepared op-eds, wrote white papers, held press conferences, presented on local and national panels.
NAFTA, as you know, your chamber once again has taken the lead. The numbers don't lie.
This is about jobs, economic impact. We know that a trade between the U.S. and Mexico is over $180 billion as it relates to Texas.
We celebrate the fact that the United States Supreme Court has thrown out that census question that was, are you a U.S. citizen?
It was also a banner year for the Chamber's annual initiatives, groundbreaking and data-focused Hispanic Impact Summits, the Women's Leadership Conference and Business Expo, Health, Innovation, and Technology Summit, our annual Luncheon and Business Expo, the largest in Houston, as well as our elected officials reception, annual awards gala. We graduated emerging leaders. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce remains mission-focused.
And as go Hispanics, so goes Houston.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading regional advocate for the economic and civic interests of the Hispanic business community, the leader of Houston's new majority.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Our next guest has done so much for Harris County. He's been a great partner to our chamber and continues to work with us, our members, our businesses, and is doing a lot of great work to make sure Harris County continues to thrive. Our guest is Commissioner Tom Ramsey. Welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Dr. Murillo. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And you know, you've been on our program before, but I'm glad that we have this face-to-face opportunity. Harris County growing every day. Your precinct continues to thrive. Talk to us. What are some of the highlights?
Well, it is a great time to be in Harris County. There's been a lot of conversation about some areas growing and some areas not. But there's businesses moving to Harris County every day. A lot of my precinct is unincorporated, which means there's not necessarily the services that you would be used to in an incorporated part.
Yes.
And a lot of people may not necessarily understand that the city of Houston comprises roughly half the county in population. Well, the other half of the county lives in unincorporated Harris County,
Yes.
much of which is in Precinct 3.
Well, and often, especially media, focus a lot on City Hall and the city of Houston. And Harris County had, I think, for a long time kind of been under the radar, if you will, and now certainly a lot of just awareness of how large Harris County is, the budgets that you all individually and collectively are responsible for, infrastructure projects, and so much more. So I think people are becoming more aware of it. You're seeing it a lot more. And it's so important that Harris County continues to do well at all levels.
That's right. And
Yeah.
businesses look at services
Yes.
because at the end of the day, they're not terribly interested in what's going on in Washington or Austin, they really need to know how their roads are going to be fixed, or how their drainage is going to be addressed, or how an issue in a park, for example, we have 72 parks in Precinct 3. So it's really what I call the basics of operating a business and raising a family.
Speaking of parks, so I know, especially in your area, some phenomenal parks. It's wonderful to be out there every now and then and see these parks just full with people playing soccer, having picnics, exercising, and you've paid a lot of attention to services as well in those areas.
Yeah, we do. We mow every park every day. Again, that's 72 parks. Mow it every week, and then we actually clean the restrooms and do all those things every day. But the other thing is they're safe. When you want to go do something with your children after work, after school, and you need a safe place to go, we really consider those as refuges for people to go and have a quiet time and do things. That's a real important part, I think, of what we as a county should be doing.
Very important work. And speaking of which, unfortunately, we've experienced so many natural disasters. And unfortunately, we live in a zone where that's likely to happen again. What's your take on infrastructure? You voted against the tax increase recently, but from your perspective, what else can Harris County do to make sure that we're ready for that next storm?
Well, I think the precincts, there's 4 precincts in Harris County. I think from the precinct level, commissioner level, we are prepared to respond. So in many ways, we have 4 specific entities that has to have debris pickup. They have to have the ability to rescue people, could be in boats or otherwise. Just in Precinct 3, we've had 3 disasters this year. We had the major, what I call the May Day flood, 30 inches of water comes in, 30 inches of rain comes into North Harris County. Then we had the derecho, and then we had Beryl. Dr. Murillo, we picked up over 1 billion cubic yards of debris because of all those disasters over a 2-month period. Well, that's in addition to repairing roads and doing drainage improvements and other things. But the county staff in all 4 precincts working into, I borrowed trucks from this precinct and they borrowed from me. We figured out how to get it done. And I think that's how county government should be operating.
Yes.
You shouldn't be sitting there saying, well, I'm sorry, I can't get to you. No, we need to figure out how to get it.
More holistic approach to running the county. And so from your perspective, do you see more interaction, more collaboration with your colleagues?
Absolutely. There is I can give you 20 examples of issues that we've identified that we need to take more of a proactive position with. It could be flood related. It could be roadway related. At 2 commissioner courts ago, I requested for a even distribution of hectare funds to each one of the precincts that would allow us to take care of our roads in a more planned way.
Yes.
I got great support from the entire Commissioners Court. So when people say, well, is the county really functioning that way? We really do function well together. I think a lot of what you read in the paper that maybe there's some issues here and there, in terms of the commissioners, we're working well together.
So for you, what are some of your top priorities between now and let's say the next year?
Well, infrastructure, public safety, and when I say lower taxes, what I mean by that, and I'll start there, is wasteful spending. I think what Mayor Whitmire is doing in evaluating everything in the city, I really think that's what I would like to do in the context of Precinct 3, where 1.2 million people. I want to make sure that every dollar that the county is spending is actually doing things that matter to people. So on the wasteful spending side, on the tax dollar side, our budget this year in general tax rates is $2.6 billion. That's a lot of money. And let's be sure that we're just not doing the same things we did last year. Are there ways to improve it, to free up money so we can invest in those things in those areas that we need to? But public safety and infrastructure are really what people talk to me the most about in terms of what we can do to improve.
And certainly looking at the private sector to pick up some of these needs, if you will. I think that that is the way of the future. Cities, counties, there just isn't enough money to take care of some of the very pressing issues. Some of them, quite frankly, educational, perhaps even social needs that are definitely out there that maybe are not the best use, perhaps, of taxpayer money. Infrastructure, of course, that's core. Those are some core defined areas of interest.
We have over 31 nonprofits in Precinct 3. They do incredible work.
Yes.
My job is to help them, whether it's food related or whether it's a place to stay overnight, those sorts of things. We have great nonprofits. There's many things that the nonprofits do that they need to focus on, and the county does not need to. We probably need to focus more, in my opinion, on infrastructure, on drainage. When I talk to small businesses, again, they ask me, I know there is a tire shop or two that located near my office in the Spring Branch area, and they just need to know that there's going to be patrols near their businesses. They need to know that they're not going to be flooded. They need to know that there is some predictability, because if we support businesses in that manner, they're going to thrive.
Yes.
But when they have to worry about being broken into, or they have to worry about whether their business is going to be flooded the next time it rains 20 inches, then that's not sustainable. So building a more sustainable infrastructure and more sustainable neighborhoods, that I think is going to help businesses more than anything.
And your experience and education as an engineer certainly has come in handy, hasn't it?
Really has. You do these things. I've worked with 50 cities in 20 counties in Texas. I probably have had enough experiences. I know what not to do in terms of dealing with issues, but certainly when I have folks in a particular neighborhood come to me and say, can you improve our drainage? And specifically, we may not be able to get you 100-year flood protection, which is kind of the standard. We may not be able to do everything, but we can do something. Yes. And the something part is what I think people makes it. I talked to 2 constituents today. There was a concern about traffic in their areas. And I simply said, we'll look at maybe some flashing lights, some signals, some other things. Too often, I think, when a constituent takes the time to call you and ask you for something, you should respond. We've got over 2,000 requests in now to do service requests within the precinct. Every one of those have been called back. They've been told when we're going to get to it. It may be next week and it may be in 2 months, but at least the constituent is sitting there and saying, okay, my government is trying to address an issue that I brought up.
All of these things so important. I want to make sure we give you the opportunity to share with us anything else that you'd like to talk about before we wrap up.
Flood control is important.
Yes.
And I know that we're having discussions now, well, maybe we do increase the tax rate related to flood control, the Harris County flood control tax rate.
Yes.
Well, Commissioner Garcia and I looked at that, his bringing experience from the city of Houston, being sheriff and other things, me coming from 40 years of engineering, and we really found that yes, we've got over 2,500 miles of channel in Harris County that is not being maintained. Those are the kinds of issues when I talk to neighborhoods, can you at least tend to the channel, clean it out? Yes. There's silt and they hadn't been mowed in 2 years, those sorts of things. So creating a robust maintenance program within flood control is something that's very important.
So very important. We've enjoyed working with you, your team. the judge, commissioners, and others, because the relationship that we have with you all is so very important. We need Harris County and our businesses to thrive and grow, and you and your team have been a significant part of that. We really appreciate your ongoing investment and time in the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Dr. Murillo, for all that you do.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.